Hi, welcome back to another shed session. I'm Nigel Howarth and we've got another exciting dish for you today. Here we go. We are cooking, or I am, it's not we, it's an I. I'm cooking for you Lonk lamb. And Lonk lamb is the indigenous breed of lamb to Lancashire. So Lancashire used to be called Lonkshire. So hence, when I first came across that, it really confused me. I thought Lonks, it's a strange name to call a breed of lamb, but Lonk it is. So they're the hill lamb of Lancashire. And this is a loin of Lonk lamb. And we're going to butcher that for you because I thought that might be interesting for you. I'm not expecting you all to do this at home. Well, some of you can. But your butcher can do this for you. Or if you wanted a challenge, it's not that difficult. You just need a big cleaver. And then to go with that, we're going to make a lemon marmalade. We've got all the ingredients here, onions and lemons and thyme, a little bit of sugar. And then we're going to make a little herb jus with some fresh spinach. So, hey, let's get on with it. So, I'm going to turn over. What I love about this is you can use every last bit of it, and you can see it has been hung for 3 weeks. So I'm going to take off, first of all, you've got the kidney here, which you can just pull the kidney out, and you can see the kidneys there. And they always slit the kidney now to check it for disease. And then right along the plate, you've got your fillet. So you just ease that fillet out, and there's, you know, not many people will eat lamb fillet. Or no, but it is so beautiful. So when you get, if you can actually get something like the whole loin, you've got all those different cuts of meat that you can carefully take off, then freeze down, or vacuum pack if you've got a vacuum packer, and use them as you go through the next few weeks. And I'm going to spin that round so you can see what I've done. So you can see I've loosened away the fillet, and just be careful you don't waste any of the head. And there you go. So that's the Chateaubriand of the lamb fillet. Imagine roasting that and presenting that a little piece. And then you've got the tournedos and then the mignon, so the middle and the light. So there you go. So what we need to do now is cut off the chump. So we've got chump, short loin and best end. Okay, so we just need to work out, and I always turn it over on that side. I can just see where the chump ends there, so that I can make a cut and then turn it back and use that there to cut through. Okay, so and we can just cut that like so. Pop that to one side, and then carefully. Can you see that okay? I think you can, yeah. Just loosen that off the H bone, which is the top of the leg. Okay, and that bone's good for stock. A little bit of meat there that's good for stewing. And then when you see the size of this chump here now, and it's all trimmed up, all that is good trim. And you can see that would almost do some people 2 portions. What do you think? 2 portions there, isn't it? Nearly. Okay, certainly in some restaurants it's 2 anyway. Okay, so we've got trim there. And then what we need to look at, you can see you got the beautiful best end and then the short loin. So again, we need to cut this. And what I'm going to do is count 7 bones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I can see where that 7th bone is there. Okay, So we need to be cutting sort of through there, okay? And you can see, I've just done that, cut through, straight up. And there you are, it's a best end in its raw form, and then a short line. And again, the belly, you can either take that on or off the bone. You got short line there. Two of those make a Barnsley chop when you cut them down the center. And again, what we tend to do a lot of is we take that top bit off there and you comfy that, slow cook that up, and it's beautiful then into a hot oven or on a barbecue or something like that. It's absolutely delicious. So there's your short line there. And then this is the bit we're going to use today. Okay, so what I want to do is I cut an eye above. So I really want to be about there. So make a mark there. And then on the other side, there, make a mark there. And hopefully those two will join. And okay. And then with my meat cleaver, there you go. And that's, again, you can use, again, slow cooked or on a barbecue. Is really nice. Okay. So what I need to do now is then make a mark there. Make a mark there. Draw that across. And then pull. Again, you can see what I'm doing, I hope. I'll just bring that round. I'm just taking that again. And all this sometimes is thrown away, but it's such a nice part of the lamb. And then down the plate here, so I need to cut down like so. And what I do then, and of course if you wanted to, you could use a saw to do this. Then I stand it up on its end, and with the point of the cleaver, just carefully cut down like so. And that takes away the plates from concentrating a lot there. It's a while since I've done that one. And then the plates there. Okay. And yeah. So I need to then just trim up some bits. Trim. You get that sort of yellow cord, like a gristly cord, so that needs to come off. And I'm leaving more. Sometimes in the hotel restaurant, I cut all that off, but I really enjoy that, so don't cut all that off. And we can just score that like so, and then we'll brown that up. And now to chime, so we can let's get rid of this big fella here. Move him off now. We're done with him. So this now, so we can just chime the chops up now. This is a bit you may or may not enjoy doing. And you need to make sure, one of the tips here is to keep everything nice and cool. Don't let anything get too warm, or else it becomes really sticky to do. And I'm having to draw that towards me. Be patient to get a nice, and what we're trying to do is get a nice clean bone. Okay, so on all these trim here, that goes into your stocks. I'd actually would mince some of that. Just this last one here now. I can just get that off there. And then hopefully, just pull that back. Just got to remember, I'm not doing this every day like I used to do. So just pull that down, just break the top of the corner, and you see that, so they're all nice and clean, so they give you a good presentation. And then basically with your knife, just run that back, so you're taking off that sinew, and all that, as we said, goes into your sauce. Okay, to concentrate a bit there, didn't I? It is, I mean, it is a serious game. And just at this bottom here now, just clean that up. But I just used to love to see perfectly clean bones when you're cooking somebody's beautiful lamb chop. It's an expensive cut of meat now. You're looking at a good £10 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so what we're going to do now is get our pan, and I've preset the oven at 120, and we're going to probe it for 60 degrees, which should just be perfect, because I think at home 60 degrees core temperature is perfect. It's just lovely and pink. Okay, so we're going to pop that on. Right, okay, I've got some cumin salt here, which, because we're doing a lemon marmalade, this cumin salt works so well. And it's just cumin and salt mixed together, just to taste. I've done it where I can just, get enough cumin coming through, but it's not too salty. Okay, just roll that in there. Okay, so that's the cumin salt on. And then got my oil here, a little bit of sunflower oil going in there. And we're going to just give that a nice browning off, okay? And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it out and just pop it onto a piece of tin foil on our tray. And I want to get a really nice golden colour, because I want to cook this at low temperature. So we're cooking it on 120 for 40 minutes. And what I'm trying to do is give myself the best chance of getting a wonderful, when I've got such a beautiful piece of meat, I don't want to put it in on too hot an oven and ended up with a disappointing piece of meat. Okay, and we're going to baste it when we get it out after. So there it is. So I've got my food probe, which, if you've got one, you're going to get the quality and the cook temperature right. So just pop that in there like so. Get the probe and pop it in. In you go, and let's set the temperature on the probe, as you can see now, on 60 degrees. Set it, and when it reaches 60 degrees, it will cut off. Okay, I'm going to clean up now, and we'll meet you back for the marmalade. The first thing to do now is to get the marmalade on. Now, the marmalade would take 3 to 4 hours. Okay, so you'd have to make that up beforehand. In this case, I'm going to start the process off, and I've got some ready, and I'll show you basically why it takes so long, because the ingredients are simple. Okay, so we've got sliced onions, 130 grams of sugar, got 2 lemons, and the lemons, I've just put them into slightly salted water and boiled them for an hour with the lid on. Okay, just gentle boil. Take them out and let them set up, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that. We've got some picked fresh thyme here, okay, and we've got our pan. So you don't put any fat in a marmalade because you don't want lumps of fat for obvious reasons. Okay, so let's just turn our pan up a wee bit. Pop that in. Pop the sugar on. So they're finely sliced onions. And then while they're cooking away, and you'll hear them start now, I'll just turn them up a wee bit. We can do the lemons. So I've got put that there, and then you've got a clear view. Make sure not covered with it. Okay, so just cut the lemons in half, like so, and with a teaspoon just scrape out all the flesh, like so. You'll have probably seen the lemons done like this in Mediterranean cookery. This dish came from many moons ago, the inspiration from 20 years ago actually, when I first went to California, and a very famous French cook, Marc Menor, was working at the food festival I went to, and he did a T-bone of lamb with a lemon marmalade. And I suppose I pinched it from him, or the idea, because of course you never got the recipes, and I sort of built up a recipe around what I felt, and I just love the fact that you serve a herb. You know, there's no lamb stock here with this. It's a herb stock, or it's a chicken stock with fresh herbs into it and just blitzed up, and it is really delicious. So what I need to do now, after I sieve, is just push everything through. Like so. We just need to push that through. I'm using quite a coarse sieve for this, so I think that's and then just take the bits off the end, and then do is just cut through, and a sort of a julienne. By the time you've cooked out your nice and gently with the lid on your marmalade for a few hours, it sort of breaks down into the whole mass, if you will. Okay. Such a lovely thing to do. Does work well with chicken as well. Lemon chicken. Thyme goes well with chicken. Yeah, works well. So I can hear now that my onions are rumbling in there. Okay. Lovely. Shall we have a look? Yep. So we can now pop our lemon in. Pop all the lemon puree. Try your hands get slippy. Like so. And give it a good old mix. And you can see that, you can see all the juice coming out of those onions. So, New Seasons English onions, wow. Okay, you would do that and you cool it down. You add some fresh thyme to it, and it looks like that at the end. So, if we look at it now, the smells, and we don't add them, or don't add the thyme till towards the end. So infuse the thyme in like a tea. Okay, so you'll get the picture now. We'll get our bullet plugged in. I think I'll move that over to this side now because it's going to be boiling away forever. Just let it merrily cook away. I've got a double chicken consomme here. Okay. Which looks rather nice. So it's double chicken stock. So I've made a chicken stock, then reduced it down by half again. Can you see that? Oh, delicious. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to gather some of these herbs here. Okay, so bob that into there. We don't want too much mint in, so I've got quite a bit of mint in here. Otherwise the mint will sort of overpower everything and dominate the sauce. Okay. And again, remember, we're not heating the sauce up. Let's give it a good old blitz. Yeah. Cappuccino of herbs. Wow. Oh, that tastes so good. And you can see how nice and green. If I want to get a darker green than that, what I would do, and I don't actually, but what I would do is add some spinach to it. Something neutral that would give me a lot of colour. Let's have a look. We've got a core temperature of 32. So I think it's time to take a break for a coffee, and we'll come back and finish off the next set. So let's have a look now. So we can take the probe, you can see the probes there. You can take the probe out and then just get the best end of lamb, and we pop that. I've just got an upturned plate there and just let the juices run through. Let's just have a little look at our marmalade. You can see how that's progressing now. There you go. So actually that's been on for about an hour. So, you know, an hour and a half, a couple of hours. You can see how that's now starting to break down. And We'll just give it a little bit longer and then we'll add our thyme. Can knob us of butter here. Start melting. And I can see my sauce now is starting to warm through. So when it gets a little bit warmer, I need to emulsify a little bit of butter in there. You know, it's a thin sauce. Okay. So let's turn that up a little bit more. And I've done it in a frying pan so you can see it. So normally I do it in a bigger pot and put a lid on quickly, but you can't really see it then. So salt and pepper we've got there. Smells absolutely wonderful. Right, okay, so spinach in. Looks a lot, but it doesn't have shrink down to nothing. I'll use that wooden spoon in a minute. So, just check, that's fine. I'm not putting nutmeg in here because I don't want too many different flavours. I think we've got enough as it is, so just a little bit of salt and pepper. And then just gently mix that. You see, I'm not moving the pan at all. I'm going to put, like so. And then I'm going to put that pan back on. So I'm just going to pop that there and pop J-cloth over. Now we're just going to pop a little bit of butter in there and put our baste and lamb in. And I can find another spoon in here. Oh, well, that was a remarkable one, a holy one. And we just want to gonna pop a little bit more of our cumin seasoning on there. Now, we need a little bit of butter going into here, just to just give that a tiny, it's a thin sauce, just gives it a little bit of, just a little bit of body, so emulsify that in. Some juices there. Just back on there. That looks delicious. Right. Oh, got a lot of things going on here now. So, got our 2 plates here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move that lamb down there. It gives me a little bit of room to get my act together to quenelle. And you know, I don't want too big a quenelle, so we're going to pop that sort of like that. This works wonderfully well with your lamb. It's it's really nice. Okay, and the lamb, by the way, comes from Rod Spence at Burholm Farm in the Trough of Bowland. Rod's, you know, a terrific friend of mine, and been a great ambassador for Lonk lamb. And not many people know or knew what, or knew much about Lonk lamb, being the indigenous breed of Lancashire. I knew all about that Swaledale stuff, but we kept our lamb a secret. So Rod's done an awful lot to put Lonk lamb on the map. So just going to put our spinach like so. And we're going to get our lamb now, pop it onto our meat board. So I'll cut that fist chop because that one could be one for me to just try. And wow. Whoa, that looks perfect. Fandabidozy. There's 3 portions really here, but of course, because we never eat anything, we get to eat all the little bits after. So there's a slight fib there, but you can see how beautiful and pink. That's the MPs. It's beautiful and pink. You can see that. Now my lamb sauce is looking quite dark green. Tastes delicious, and we're just going to put a little bit there in the middle. Okay, and there you go. There is Lonk lamb, best end of Lonk lamb, with a thyme and lemon marmalade, spinach and a herb jus. And I would suggest that if you wanted to serve a potato with that, then, you know, a mashed potato, chive mash would be brilliant. There's some great potatoes locally, Wilshire potatoes, Peter Ashcroft. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed. See you at the next one. Bye. Hi, I'm Nigel Howard. If you like what you've just seen, then subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on social media. Enjoy.